Hello and welcome to this edition of Metamorph-Studios Do-It-Yourself series. Today we're going to show you how to make the classic Star Trek series shirt insignia. We're going to be doing the command insignia because I've already done, and I've shown you briefly the science officer one I did. But you're just going to need a few simple materials and we'll get right on with it. Alright, now to do this, it's actually a lot of simple materials. What you're going to need is, to start with, is your pattern that you're going to use. We're going to be using this one today. This is the one I used for mine. This is for engineering for you red shirts who are taking your life into your own hands. This is a page from the original 1975 Star Trek technical manual. And I happen to have it on a PDF, but you can go online onto Google Images and find these as well, and you want them to try to get them the right size, as you see here. Roughly a couple inches tall. This also is really good for showing you the different sleeve ranks, depending on what rank you want to do. So we have this. This will be part of our pattern. For the gold part, I found this clutch purse at Goodwill. I think it was like $2. But as you can see, it's got the nice shiny gold material. And you can see where I've already cut it for the one I've already done. So you need one of these or something similar. You can find even dresses and things that'll be similar material, but you want a kind of a gold shiny material. Next, you'll need some kind of glue. I like using this. It's a water-based Crafter super glue that stiffens up pretty quick, and you can get your stuff on your uniform right away. Secondly, a pair of scissors. I'm also going to be using an X-Acto kit because after cutting out the initial outside arrowhead shape, cutting on the inside is a lot easier if you use an X-Acto knife. What I also recommend is one of these cutting boards right here. These are kind of expensive, but you can find them cheap sometimes on sale at Michael's or Joann's Fabrics. But what it is, it's a self-healing cutting board, especially for X-Acto knives. That way you won't cut through to your table or whatever else you're using. A couple times I've got a couple scars in the carpet because of what I was cutting. So, and also you're going to need some thin craft foam. Now the thinness of it depends on you. It comes in this really kind of a chunky size, as you can see. I'm going to be using this thickness right here, as you can see. Now it also comes, I have the orange here to show you the difference, but you can see the orange is actually even a little thinner than the black. I'm going to be using the black. It's a little thicker, and this is kind of flimsy. This is like dollar store craft foam here. So, and you can also buy the thinner foam with an adhesive backing, a peel-away adhesive backing, if you want to do that, because you could make the whole insignia, and if you didn't want to glue magnets on the back or a piece of metal and use magnets to hold it on like we're going to do, you can just do your emblem here and then peel it off and then stick it right to your shirt if you care to. So, we're going to get going. Now here's the one I made before. It's kind of got the shiny to it, and it's again the black craft foam with the gold leatherette covering with a hole cut out, and then using that same circle I cut out to make the kind of eye shape that goes for sciences. And then on the back I found some metal pieces that I had to snip down to fit, but and then I use these button magnets to hold it on between the shirt. I should say the shirt goes between the magnets and the metal. And I have a couple smaller ones to kind of hold down the ends here. That way when I'm walking around at a convention, the edge doesn't get caught and pulled off because it's flexible. Like I said, the reason I use magnets is so I can take it off and I can wash the uniform and not ruin the insignia. So that's why I didn't sew it on. You can also use Velcro if you prefer. So what we're going to do first is we're going to start with the pattern here, and like I said, we're going to do the command insignia. And so essentially I will you want to cut it out right there on that black line because that's going to be your pattern for your for the original black craft foam section. So we have this part cut out, and so we're going to flip it over, And we're going to lay it down on top of our craft foam. Find a piece where it'll actually fit. And let's see here. So, alright, so that'll work. So then we're just going to take a pen and we're going to trace it. Now I'm going to use a blue pen because it'll probably show up a little bit better on the black foam. So you just basically trace. Now what you can also do is do it a couple times, kind of get a little bit of a groove in the foam so you can see it when you're cutting it out. I wouldn't recommend keeping the piece of paper here while you're cutting, because you're going to reuse it afterwards. So after we trace it, as you can see, we've kind of got the little marks in there. So now we're going to cut that out. Alright, so we've cut out the black, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece here again, and we're going to cut around the white section, that center section. This will be the pattern used to trace the gold with. So it doesn't have to be exact, you just want enough cut off of there in order to have the black edge showing around the gold. Now when you cut, make sure that you keep the scissors still and spin the paper. That'll make your cut a little bit better. So now we have that. Now I'm going to leave this section in the center. I'm going to leave this section in the center right here because it makes it a little more firmer when I'm tracing. So then what we're going to do is cut out a piece of the purse here. So that should be big enough. And also that will help you to see which side is down so you don't cut it backwards, because you want the larger arm of the arrowhead to be when it's facing you on the left hand side. So flip, basically, since it's going to look like that, you want to flip it over like that, and then take your pen and just trace it like that. And there you go. So now we have that. Oops, forgot one little section there. So now we have that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to use the X-Acto knife to cut out this star section right here. Alright, now we've cut this out, and this was the back side, so we're going to take that and lay that back down on top of our original piece right there, and then we're going to take the pen and we're going to trace the inside part like that. Alright, and then using the X-Acto knife, we just cut out this shape too. It's easier just to kind of go straight down from the tip of the star all the way to those ends, because you don't want to cut through any of the rest of the emblem. Alright, so now we can pop this out. Alright, so we need to cut more of this. Up this way. And then you can cut the little side arms of the star out. So Then simply cut out the outside. And the reason you want to do the center first is because it gives you more areas to hang on to the material where you're cutting as opposed to the smaller arrowhead shape. Alright, and then all you have to do is you match up, you lay this on here, try to center it so you have a nice even black edge. You might need to do some adjusting, like the black seems to be a little sharper, so you can take, maybe trim a little bit off the off of here. Okay. So when you lay it on there, it's going to take some fitting to get it exactly the way you want it. But then all you need to do is use the glue to glue it down, and you have the Starfleet insignia. Now, if you take more time, you can get your cuts a little more precise than what I did here. But so that's one way to do it. And like I said, if you just glue the magnets to the back or your Velcro, you've got a nice lightweight insignia that won't weigh your shirt down depending on how thick the material is you're using. So, there you go. That's how to make a Starfleet insignia quickly, but it still looks pretty good for your costuming needs. Alright, thank you for watching. If you have any questions on this tutorial that I might not have covered, don't hesitate to write here on the page in the comments section. You can also send me a message on my Facebook like page, which is www.facebook.com/Metamorph-Studio. Also, my email is jgarretts@comcast.net. That's jaygerats@comcast.net. If you have any questions on this or any tutorials you'd like to see in the future, or just simple questions on basic costuming that I could answer right back with you on email. So again, thank you for watching.